In the news this week, a Church of England theological college has come under fire for holding a blasphemous service. Research shows over 1 billion babies have been killed worldwide in the last 100 years, and campaigners call on the Scottish Government to introduce a ban on drug driving. Hello. A Church of England theological college has been slammed for holding a blasphemous service. The service, at the chapel of Westcott House, Cambridge, was held to mark LGBT History Month. It involved corruption of church liturgy and readings from the so-called Polari Bible. Polari is an antiquated slang language used by gay men before homosexuality was legalised. One attendee told the BBC that it was led by a priest in training, with other trainees also present. The principal of Westcott House, Reverend Canon Chris Chivers, did not admit that the service was blasphemous, but said he recognised the contents of the service are at variance with the doctrine and teaching of the Church of England. He added, "I will be reviewing and tightening the internal mechanisms of the House to ensure this never happens again." The Christian Institute's head of communications, Kieran Kelly, said the principal's response did not go far enough.
To describe God as he has been here is blasphemous. And I'm certainly not going to repeat any of the terms used now. The last place that this sort of profane language should be heard is in a church service. This is where God's people meet together to worship him for who he is, for what he has done as has been revealed to us through Scripture. And what took place at Westcott House isn't merely misguided, it is utterly unacceptable.
Since abortion was first legalised in 1920, over 1 billion babies have been killed worldwide. The appalling figure was presented in a new report by the Global Life campaign, which labelled it the greatest genocide in history. Data was collated from over 100 nations, territories and regions, where figures are available up to 2015. The report's authors said the deaths represented the greatest deliberate slaughter of human beings in history. It also states that the number of abortions per year worldwide is reported to be around 12.5 million. Abortion was first authorised in 1920 by the communist government of the former USSR. In the US, Michael Brune, an environmentalist, has claimed that abortion helps to maintain a sustainable population. He said that giving women access to it helps to address the number of people that we have on this planet. And finally, campaigners have called on the Scottish Government to introduce a ban on drug driving. It follows the publication of a new study in the Forensic Science International Journal. Research found that in Scotland there were as many motorist deaths relating to cannabis use as alcohol use between 2012 and 2015. 1 in 5 drivers killed in road accidents tested positive for cannabis during this period. The second most common type of drugs detected after cannabis were opioids, including heroin. Drug driving limits were introduced in England and Wales in 2015, but Scotland has yet to bring in such laws. The Christian Institute has warned of the dangers of drug driving over the past 20 years. Neil Gregg, Director of Policy and Research at road safety charity I Am Road Smart, described it as an important study. It seems odd that in England and Wales this very successful road safety legislation is working well, and yet we are still waiting for the Scottish Government to make a decision. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.